the Business on Top podcast. And you know what you should do to the Business on Top podcast? You should like, rate, review, subscribe, unsubscribe, resubscribe, re-rate, re-review the Business on Top podcast. Vijay Patel, Shane Chernoff, Ben Siegel. Let's get it.
This is the Business on Top podcast with Shane Chernoff, Vijay Patel, and Ben Siegel.
I love this company! Yeah!
Wait, did you look up Garnett or Durant?
Cast.
Pretty cool! Pretty damn cool! Wow!
Hello everyone. You are looking live at a very fine fall Friday night. This is the Business on Top podcast, 7th episode, coming to you live from Palm Beach County, Florida. We have survived another week. My co-hosts, Ben Siegel, Vijay Patel, how's everybody doing?
Good.
Wonderful.
Lucky number 7.
TGIF.
It's just unbelievable how the hits keep coming in this year 2020, and we keep wondering how it's going to get worse. But, if you're listening, wherever you are, if you're in your car, listening to us on Spotify, we should be available on iTunes or watching us on YouTube. Hello to you guys, and nice job for rolling with it. This has not been the easiest year by any stretch of the imagination, but kudos to you for hanging in there. We are in a very strange situation where the NBA Finals and MLB playoffs are on at the same time. An unprecedented time. Tell me what happened, Ben. Talk to us.
I looked over, I thought it was a casual fly ball, and Gardner was acting like it was a fly ball. He kept drifting back, and he barely jumped up and essentially robbed a home run, first round home run.
Is it one of those balls that just kept carrying?
Yeah, but he made it look very casual. I don't think. Oh,
He's one of those
wait,
guys.
are they taking him out already?
Oh yeah. Well, Brett Gardner's one of those guys that he's
Look at this. Look,
he's
look,
gonna
look,
be a
look,
coach. Oh wow.
I wish they showed the whole play.
Yeah.
He's just like,
I think he's gonna be a coach.
Yeah.
in the near future.
That was a very nonchalant jump up and grab what otherwise would have been a home run.
They say he's one of the leaders in that line.
I couldn't believe it. I mean, the guy's been there since I feel like I've been in high school. I think it's unbelievable that Brett Gardner's still able to play in this league after all this time.
Yeah, he's doing pretty good.
And
too.
speaking of guys who have been able to play in leagues for a long time, you have LeBron James on the other television here trying to lead the Lakers to their, I don't know how many championships they've won, but it would be LeBron's 4th championship.
Is LeBron the best athlete of our time?
Yes.
Our time, yeah.
Oh yeah, I won't hesitate to say that in terms of pure ability. The guy probably could have played professional football if he wanted to. You're talking about arguably the greatest basketball player of all time. It's debatable.
Arguably.
And Jordan people, don't at me, leave me alone. But
well, 2 of us are here, so.
no.
With COVID. Honestly, we've been blessed by COVID for Mima Chimi just because it's a product that...
Well, in terms of not necessarily blessed by the actual occurrence of it, but it's presented you with some unique opportunities, I guess, in the space.
Right. So, obviously, Mima Chimi is an all-purpose steak sauce, so it's not really something that's essential in your life, but everyone eats food. Everyone eats food, loves good food.
Likes to cook.
Amen.
I think things tend to taste better if you make it on your own, right? If you throw something in the Instant Pot, it feels good once you get if you throw some chili in there or something like that. If you make it on your own, it does tend to taste pretty good.
It cures a bad day.
Yeah, you also can't beat a sauce. I know I'm a big sauce guy. I like having a ton of sauces to choose from, and you can't beat a sauce that you can put on anything and everything. There's some sauces, A1 or Worcestershire sauce, you save for burgers or steaks. ketchup, different people like it on different things, but with Mima's, you can have it on egg. I've had it on eggs. I've had it on chicken. I've had it on steak. You can put it on anything, and it's good. I think that's where it's like that's what's unique about it.
I think, in my own personal experience, it is great to marinate in a bag for 24 hours. Just throw it in the Instant Pot, and if you're boring, if you're a chicken and rice guy, that works for you too. And what I've heard, word on the street is, if it's not Chimi, if it ain't Mima's.
It's true. You gotta.
That's just what I've heard.
Good.
That's just what I've heard. That's just what the kids on the street are saying these days.
Yeah, so we definitely got lucky with the product because it's been in my business partner's family and for such a long time, for generations and generations, and we're blessed enough to bring it to market. But some of the challenges we're facing as a company
during a pandemic.
During a pandemic, yes. So initially, I'm CFO of the company. I thought that bringing in revenue was going to be an issue just because I thought local grocery stores and markets are going to be reluctant to bring in new products because, one, their revenue is going down with a pandemic, with not as many people coming in stores. But it's been changed because we have apps like Instacart and all these, that get shipped to your.
Has that stuff become more conducive to curbside? Like, are those grocers more open to doing curbside orders now, or is it just a question of the in-store traffic hasn't dropped off as much as they initially thought it would?
So initially, the in-store traffic obviously dropped off a bunch. Recently, it's gone up a lot just because people are more safe, social distancing and wearing masks, and people feel more safe in stores now. But for us as a company, I think the thing that helped us, one, was obviously we have a product that has been selling not only online, our marketing's been working really well, but we have such a good base down here in South Florida with a lot of good friends and family that have a big network and have shown the product in Boca, and obviously everyone loves it. But as far as challenges we're facing, it's obviously trying to convince grocery stores to get our product in store.
I think food is difficult because, for one, you walk into any grocery store and there are just so many condiments and different brands of sauces. Mm-hmm. So I guess my question for you would be, what is the biggest challenge if you were a startup in the, I wouldn't call it foodstuffs, but like if you're a startup in creating sauce, trying to break into the grocery store, that's got to be the hardest thing, right? Just getting the inventory into the store.
Right. Yes. And to that, I say the best thing to do is network as much as you can, because it's all really about who you know, right? Most of our contacts that we got into, all these grocery stores we got into, we're in 3 right now. We've known the owner for Doris Italian Market since we were little. My mom was a good friend of the owner at Doris Italian Market. And
for those of you who don't know, the Patel family is a pillar in the Boca Raton community. Both of the people sitting on the left and my right are alumni of the illustrious Olympic Heights High School, and you came a little bit later to the community, but you consider yourself a proud Palm Beach County resident.
Your typical, probably as you guys refer to, New York snowbird who moses on down to Boca Raton at later on in life from New York, and
hey, we're
hell yeah.
You and I, Vijay and I, are both glad that you're here. So
absolutely
glad to be here.
So yeah, back to my point. I was saying it's all about who you know, and I think that brings us back to our old point of if college is necessary in life, which I still agree with. It is definitely necessary, but if you know the right people, you can get to where you want to be.
Mm-hmm. I have always thought that relationships are more integral than people let on. I know you can get a lot done with hard work. You can get a lot done with just good old-fashioned elbow grease.
Right.
But if to get where you really need to go, you do need a little bit of serendipity, and you do need a little bit of being in the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
Right.
Because that's honestly how I got my job.
Yeah.
I have a very good friend who's got his own podcast, Josh Chernobyl. Hopefully we'll have him on the podcast soon.
Can't wait for that.
And
yeah.
you know, I think I'll be honest, I think I owe my career to him. He helped me get my foot in the door, and I don't think I would be where I am without him. But it is just a little bit of right place, right time.
Right.
Wouldn't you also say that the degree, though, like I said earlier, is the degree is what opens the initial like foot in the door?
Yes, that's the elbow grease that I'm talking about.
Because like I feel like most companies, you need that. You need the degree. You need to show that. I wouldn't even say necessarily.
You need
graduated,
prerequisites,
but,
right? Your
yeah.
employers have your prerequisites. You need to lay out the roadmap before you actually start traveling. If you catch my drift.
I think college gets you in the door, and your hard work is what because employers they don't really care about GPA, at least in the field.
Well, not in law. In law, they do care about GPA, but it really all depends.
You could have the highest GPA, and they hire you, and if you don't have a good work ethic, if you're not a good worker, your GPA doesn't mean anything. They don't keep you on for.
Well, it's interesting that you say that, because that and not to make this about me, but even though I love to make things about me, that's how I kind of got my job. Because when I was in my interview, I explained to my boss, I was like, look, I'm in the middle of the curve. I'm not the top 50%, but I'm not the bottom 50%. I'm literally your average Joe if you're going just by GPA. But I explained to him, and of course I did it in my own way. I was like, hey, do you remember watching the movie Moneyball? And of course my boss had never seen Moneyball, so I had to explain to him. It's like they exploited market inefficiencies to figure out value in people where like other places weren't seeing it. And I explained to him that I had all this experience doing civil, not law practice, but like doing things that would be required of you in civil law practice prior. And I pretty much never looked back from there. So it's really all about figuring out. It's not just how you look on paper. It's not just the GPA. You have to look at a whole person.
But wouldn't you say that you, at least just being in, law's a different kind of different.
It's a totally different beast for sure.
But let's say if you were in business, and the fact that you were going to school for business, like in your case for law, it got your foot in the door. You may not have been at the top of the class GPA wise, you weren't at the bottom of the class, but the foot in the door, being in law school, getting you that interview allowed you to show yourself and market yourself.
Right. You got to work to get to where you need to go.
Yes.
For sure.
That's the elbow grease. Yeah.
You can't coast, but at the same time, you always got to be conscious of what kind of person you are being to the people around you.
Right. It
sounds like you got something for me.
Well, yeah, no, I was gonna say these are all great points, and I'm saying that yes, it's all about who you know, but it's also you have to put the work in to learn about selling a product or just getting to where you want to be as far as like you want to be a lawyer. You have to learn a bunch of different things. Like
you got to take your classes. You got to take your exams.
You have to learn things too on the way, right?
A firm's gonna know if you put the time in to learn something, or if you're just BSing.
They're gonna know when you walk in, because they're gonna ask you questions like, "What have you done?" And it's like, if you actually haven't done anything, you really can't make it up. You can only make it up. Look, you can clean up your resume to make it look like great. It's like you can describe some kind of job that's not that luxurious. And be a wordsmith and make it seem like a great job. But if you're sitting there face to face with somebody and you got to explain what you did, there's only so much that you can say.
Yeah, I would say it's the same with Vijay's company with Mima's, is like you could present your business, marketing it as best you can, why it's the best sauce out there, but if you're in the interview and they're asking you numbers, they're asking you what your future goals are, how are you going to go about marketing, how you're going to go about production, you're going to need answers on the spot. They're not going to say, let me get back to you. So they're going to want to see that you do, you know the answers, you did your homework, and I feel like if you can give them an answer that satisfies that question, then it shows you the real deal.
And personally, that's a great point, because I think that's where my degree helped me in finance, right? is because I knew the foundation of how a company can generate revenues and costs and margins and all this stuff. That's stuff I learned in college, which you can also learn on your own, as well. But when you have more structure in college and you learn the foundations, then you can go off that and learn yourself online or using different resources like YouTube or all these like Udemy and all these different classes that you can go offline.
For sure, I think it's for me it's always been a two-facet game, right?
Yeah.
Work hard at what you do and be a good person.
Right. Absolutely.
And those two things in conjunction are ultimately going to get you where you need to go. As far as where you need to go personally, my trusty co-host and good friend of almost 10 years now, Vijay Patel, which is
More.
crazy. Over 10 years.
Yeah.
We're past the point of over a decade of friendship between you and I.
All right. So
All right. Good night.
it was 10 we said 10 year. It was 10-year contract where it's done.
What are your goals for Mima's Chimi in the coming year?
The goals for Mima's Chimi in the next year is to be in at least 8 to 10 big grocery chains, and that includes Walmart, Publix, Whole Foods, and a few others. And I think we're well on our way there.
What would you say to someone who, because a traditional chimichurri sauce is green in color, and you have companies like Badia, Goya, kind of more bigger established brands who, their product may not be the best as far as chimichurri sauce wise, depending on who you ask. What's the, I guess,
where's your edge come from? Is that where you're going with that?
What do you think it'll take to overcome that challenge of beating out a bigger name brand like Goya or Badia?
Well, the first thing is to establish trust within all the grocery stores and markets that we're in right now.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I think the first thing you do when you go to any kind of chain or market is you sell yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So when we're going to any of these chains, luckily we've had the opportunity to have an interview or be able to sell a product within these markets, and Doris, Bravo, and any other Elbow de Gun, which we're into next. We've had the opportunity to get an interview with them. Then you have to sell yourself as a person and a company as yourself, and then you sell the product. If people like you, they're gonna like what you're selling. Mm-hmm. And luckily we have a good product as well, but if you sell yourself, you're gonna sell the product in general. And I think that's good advice for anybody who's trying to start a company. And we've seen people on YouTube who sold themselves as a person, mm-hmm. whether it's a fitness YouTuber.
That's almost any YouTuber.
Yeah.
Or anybody.
And you see the top brands are so good at selling themselves, and so good at carving out their niche and like finding viewers who resonate and say, hey, there's something about that guy.
Right.
I like that guy.
I think that would be actually the biggest pro of having a small business, or even like maybe not necessarily a small following, but I'd say a small business or a small product, right, is because you don't have that name brand like some of these bigger companies have, so you need to sell yourself, sell your product. So if you have a following that way, you know that your product or what you're selling in yourself works. And if you build a following that way, you'll have a loyal fan base. So,
you got to be able to work against adversity, go over adversity, because there's gonna be a lot of downsides when you're starting a company. There's gonna be a lot of downtimes, and you got to be able to go take the next day as a do one positive thing every day. Even if it's something so small like sending an email to somebody or giving a call or sending a text to somebody. I think that's
just let somebody know you're there. It's all about developing relationships.
You can have one huge bad day and that could tear you apart, but the next day you send one text and it could be the greatest day for you.
You just got to build it back. You got to roll with the punches.
Exactly.
That's dealing with a small business. Send us in the break. Where can you get Mima's Chimi?
So you can get Mima's Chimi on mimaschimi.com. You can order online, or we are also in the Boca Raton location at Doris Italian Market, and also Bravo Supermarket in Pembroke Pines on Flamingo and Pembroke Road, and also soon to be El Bodegón in Lake Worth.
Jesus Christmas, this is going to be a self-involved show, but we have a pretty fun game coming up for you. Up next, we're going to play a lightning round. You're going to get to know a little bit of us. You've heard us talk about sports. You've heard us talk about business. But you're going to learn a little bit more about the dynamic between the three of us. That's coming up next here on the Business on Top podcast. You don't have to go home, but get the out of here. Welcome back to Business on Top. Shane Chernoff, Ben Siegel, Vijay Patel, back with you. During the break, we got a sweet tooth, and what do you have in front of you, Vijay?
This is a sour candy called Sour Strips, made
Delicious.
The show
Max-
has become a billboard.
Max Tuning. Ben can relate with me here. We've been watching Max Tuning for a while now on
Years.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Years on YouTube.
What kind of a YouTube account is this? Because I'm kind of a Luddite and I really have no idea about any of this stuff.
Fitness / lifestyle.
Okay.
So he started out as a fitness YouTuber, and I guess his brand and following has grown so much that he's, I guess, branched out into coming out with. He was always big on candy intra-workout.
Okay.
So I think.
So what do you do? You'd eat like Skittles in the middle and just be like, yeah, that's good for you?
Well, sugar in the middle of your workout's supposed to provide like quick carbs, which is supposed to fuel your workout. So he would always eat candy in the middle of his workout. So he came out
man.
with,
So did you guys ever take his advice? Did you guys eat candy in the middle of a workout? Because I mean, I'm thinking about Reese's Pieces in the middle of my workout. That'd be awesome.
No, it's like normally it's like Pixie Sticks. It's quick, like just quick sugar.
We're talking just like pure sugar.
Yeah,
just
Pixie
like none of like the other
Sticks,
stuff.
Like sour strips.
Yeah, so he started out in fitness, and then he started a clothing brand called Ever Forward.
Mm-hmm.
And if you like watch his videos, he'd always here and there bring up like candy, and he's like, I love sour candy. You know, I think one episode he's like, I want to start my own company. This was years ago. Eventually, he like said it so much. I think he kind of like built like
He
this
spoke it into existence,
mindset
right?
in people, and he ended up starting this company. And it was a genius move, honestly, because he built such a big following off Ever Forward, and so many people. And then he built this,
Yeah, he's
and
in
now
a
he's
bunch
selling
of stores
out.
now.
He's in HEB in Texas.
He's in a lot. He's in like hundreds of stores. He sells online, and I, to my knowledge, at least when he sells online, he sells out like within an hour. Like that's never.
Why don't we cut to the chase and eat this
All
darn
right,
thing?
yeah, I'm ready.
Now,
And
in the meantime, while we pass them around, Ben, you want to give us a Yankees update?
yeah, let me.
Oh, Brittain's coming out. They're putting Chapman in the 7th.
Wow. So during the
good.
break, we had been watching this game, and we all had a conversation. And you looked at me and you said, "Do you think they make him pitch 2 innings in the 8th?"
Yeah, they're making him pitch 2 1/3.
Are they bringing him in to close this game?
They have to, right?
Let me get this
I would be shocked if he pitches all the way through
I don't
the
know.
ninth.
I don't know if I agree with
But,
this.
all right, let me see. Should I break this in half and give it over? Or
No, just eat the whole
Yeah,
thing.
no.
Okay, eat the whole thing. All right.
So he's. All right, we're gonna eat this cotton candy flavored
This
sour
isn't too bad.
Smell?
This isn't too bad. It's
Smells,
like
doesn't smell like cotton candy, but
it's like a
smells
fruit.
good.
It's
That's a
almost
little
like a fruit roll up. I've just like drizzled it and drizzled it.
117 calories per serving.
it
Man,
tastes
how
like
much-
cotton candy.
How many servings per bag? Because this seems like it'd be way like a lot of servings. This seems like a Parks and Rec situation. You remember those? God, I can't remember the name of the company.
Snake juice?
No, not snake juice. It was
Damn.
it was like the fake health bars that were definitely not healthy.
Oh, Sweetums.
Sweetums candy,
Keep
yeah.
passing that bag around.
But no, it's not bad.
Oh, it's very good.
Great.
But
I'm biased because I've had a whole bag myself already, but
swing
3
that bad boy
servings
over
per
here.
package.
I'm okay with this. Yeah, I would probably be able to go through a whole bag of that, so please don't pass that back my way.
Get a thumbnail.
Yeah. Yeah, get something for the YouTube. And while you're getting that thumbnail, guys, great visual though. Keep it that way. No,
Damn,
keep,
he double
keep
fisting
being that way.
over here.
But don't forget,
Okay.
we are now on Spotify. We are now, we have been on YouTube. We'll continue to post our content on both of those. We're hoping to get on iTunes
Those
soon.
are dangerous.
So don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe. And then, once you've rated, reviewed, and subscribed, please unsubscribe, resubscribe, re-rate, and re-review. Business on Top podcast. We're having a lot of fun doing this, seriously.
Oh yeah.
And if there's something that you guys want to see, something you guys want to hear, just let us know. We're happy to. Oh my! You guys are gonna be bouncing off the wall. Like, I don't know if we're gonna be able to finish the show. This is getting out of control.
It might be. Those are good.
No, they're not. They're not bad. I totally agree with you. They're not bad. I'm eyeing my dragon fruit Taco Bell smoothie over there. That looks pretty good. I'll probably get into that over the break. But speaking of Taco Bell, that's one thing that we all had in common. But one of the things that we wanted to do was just like do kind of like a lightning round and ask each other questions, put each other on the spot. This is something that we have not discussed over the break. It's something we have at workshop. This is all going to be 100% improv. But just wanted to let you guys know a little bit about kind of like our dynamic.
I'm sweating.
And just kind of talk about.
Have me like all hot and bothered.
All right, do we need a break? We don't need a
No,
break.
good
We're just
way,
gonna
good
power
way.
through, right?
In a
Yeah.
good way. Let's power
No,
through.
it's exciting stuff. But I wanted to talk about like how we got to know each other, how we became friends with each other, and then just like little like fun memories along the way, and what we think of each other. And it's like, if you're stranded on it, for example, Vijay, if you were stranded on a desert island with one of the two of us, who are you taking and why?
Wow.
That's a very tough question. Oh man.
This should be a lot easier than you think it is. I think
No,
you're
it's actually
overthinking this.
very hard because two of you are very like close friends of mine. So like.
Why would you take me? I would never shut the
All right,
hell
Ben.
up.
I take Ben.
Why would you? Like,
Yeah.
seriously, I'm surprised it
Why?
didn't, it
Because you
didn't
told
take
me
you
not
longer.
to take you. That's why I'm taking.
Okay, well,
Well,
no.
I'll take it.
That's
here,
how good of friends we are. Like you can't choose. between
no,
the
this
two
guy
people.
right here is too nice because
Yeah, I am too nice.
he knows that like practically I'm going to drive him crazy.
Yeah.
Here, I have a better question for you.
Okay.
Okay, so you roomed with both of us.
I
at
did.
Separate times.
I did.
And I think I know the answer to this question, but I'll ask you anyway because I think by default I don't get a fair shot at this question. But who was it better living with?
Wow. So
Don't
that's tough.
include other roommates in addition to one. Well, it was just me and you.
You're taking,
but-
you're taking the jury pool a little bit there. I have very fond memories of living with both of you guys.
Also, it's hard, right? Huh?
Yeah, no, it is difficult, but I'm gonna try to be nuanced with it, and I'm going to explain it. Vijay, I have very fond memories living with you at UF because anyone who asks me about my time at UF, I will say that is the best 3.5 years of my life. You and I have countless memories. We've been to like so many different places. But in terms of just like, sitting around, passing the time, Ben, you and I have had some pretty damn good memories too. Ben and I created just like an awesome baseball game that literally no one would like, but like people who enjoy baseball. But by the way, stay tuned. We're gonna try to give you 20 minutes on how to fix baseball a little bit later tonight. But we sat there. We went through a bottle of wine. Together.
Oh.
That was back when we were broke.
Candle?
Had some laughs,
Yeah.
had some cries.
Yeah, last cries, hugs, creative players who hit 400 in AA and then went on to be the starting second baseman for the Pittsburgh Pirates. It was an incredible story. Seriously, you had to be there. But God, it's difficult.
Right. Is it?
But the problem here's the problem with that question. I've never lived with you and just you. I've lived with you and just you.
Now, also, I wasn't there for half of the time.
And that's the other, which is great for my dating life.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, I'm by myself. Come on over.
You had your own place for half.
It was fantastic. But yeah, you were on the road, and Florida State was always playing well. And I think that was the only time that you and I had ever gotten into a fight was, if you can even call it that, was when Florida State lost the Rose Bowl that year against Oregon.
Yeah.
And you gave me a hard time because I posted something on social media and you saw it, and you got very upset with me.
I don't take Florida State losing well at all, so that's why these past couple of years I've
you need to take up yoga, meditation. Do you have the Calm app on your phone? Because I think you need it.
I've done a lot of meditating, a lot of soul searching, a lot of stress relief outlets. Because these past 3 years are nothing what it was like when I was working.
I have an easy one for all of us.
Okay, I want to hear this.
What's your guys' favorite event or party when all three of us were there?
Toronto.
The best one ever? God, Toronto.
Best one ever.
Toronto's hard to dispute, but your 21st birthday was also really good.
I was going to say 21st birthday for me.
Like, God, those are both like really, really good answers.
21st I would not answer for obvious reasons. I drank a lot.
No, it was pre, because you guys had.
I think at that time
No. We had five guys.
5 guys.
Well,
that was a bad choice.
Well, let me explain to you why. Like, I hold your 21st very near and dear to my heart because I had turned 21 probably a month or two ago. That was my first attempt at a keg stand.
Yes.
That was my first attempt at a keg stand.
We did have a keg. That was our first keg in college too.
I must have been outside.
Oh man, it was.
You don't remember the keg stand?
What a good time.
Outside.
That was when our good friend almost didn't let you outside.
Was that or was that not the same night that we tried to do a Harlem Shake video?
It was the same night.
Was that the same night? Oh,
and my cousin,
that's how you know it was a long time ago. Kids and Gen Zers, I'm sure my sister and her friends like to watch this when they're bored for whatever reason. God, the Harlem Shake seems like it was a million years ago, and yet like that time in our lives seems like yesterday. But at the same time, it was almost a decade. So, but that's aging. It's like one of those things where like things feel like yesterday. You remember when we used to have? Well, no, I don't want to turn this into a remember when we used to have segment. Let's go back to when. Has there ever been a time where like you guys were just like embarrassed to be around one of us, that we were just like doing something and you're like, oh, you just gotta knock it off?
Oh, I know the answer to this.
I know the answer. Yep.
My former roommate's 21st that we threw at our apartment.
Oh, classic.
Whose fault was that, huh?
Oh, it wasn't mine. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know if you guys want to fill them in. I can do it. So here, I'll tell you my version of the story.
Yeah. You tell yours.
I'll tell yours. Honestly, this might need to be something that we need to carry a whole hour with because we're already up against the break.
Yeah.
But I will wrap it up really quick, and I want you to tell your version after I tell my version. I remember going up to Tallahassee for one of your roommates' 21st, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So we showed up, we ran the table on beer pong as young 21-year-old college students do, and me and my good friend Nick Bavona, who is a guest with us on the Week 2 Fantasy Football Focused. You can check that out on YouTube. I mean, we dominated that night. And at some point, somebody pulled the fire alarm, and I don't know what happened, but at some point the narrative turned into Shane pulled the fire alarm, and I, to this day, swear that it was not me.
Every time we hear
I was gonna say you probably experienced it a little bit worse than me because you were living there.
Yeah.
You want to tell the people a little bit about that?
So, let's say I'd say this party probably started at what 8 p.m.
No, a little after. I thought it was like 9:10.
Maybe 9. I'd say probably by 10.
Yeah, it was a little later.
All right. Normal. We'll say 9.
Yeah.
So probably by 10 or 10:30 I was.
A.M.
You run out of steam?
I was not running out of steam would be nice. I was in another stratosphere. Pre-gamed hard and as we did in college.
As we do.
And one of the only times I don't remember much of the night, but what I do remember, right? Everything's foggy. I remember leading up to it, and then there's like a 4 or 5 hour gap where I don't remember. and then it kicks
Okay,
off where
well, let's take it to your recollection. Tell me your best recollection.
Okay, so I'm in my roommate's. I end up in my roommate's bathroom because the fire alarm is so loud in our living room.
What time was it when
This
this was
had to have
happening?
been like 2 or 2:30 in the morning. And I just was laying on the floor with my ears covered.
It wasn't me, I
Make
promise.
it stop. Make it stop. The fire alarm was going off. And then I don't remember what happened after that. But the next day, I found out that it was either you or Nick.
It wasn't me.
I
I'm
still don't
telling
know
you,
who
it was
did
not
it.
me.
I'm witness to
It
this.
shut the party down.
It would have been funny if it was me. Okay, I admit it. It was me. Coming up next, we have Get Out of Here. We are back on the Business on Top podcast. You know, we've had a fun podcast today, and honestly, like I did enjoy that segment, but as soon as we got into it, we realized that we were gonna run out of room, and otherwise we were gonna carry an hour with that. So, what do you guys think about rain checking the rest of that lightning round and having it be a pod exclusive?
I agree. It was a tough segment because obviously we're such close friends that it's hard to distinguish.
There's a big memory bank to borrow from because you're talking about
It's not even the memory bank. It's
11
like,
or 12
you ask
years.
questions to like try to pick one out of the other.
You have to. It's
impossible
like
almost.
right now, checks coming. Who's the first that's going to reach to pay for it?
Me.
I think it's you. I think it's you.
It's definitely not. I can say it's probably not.
My dad's
I'm
been the same way
stingiest.
forever. Yeah, well, I just picked that up, I guess.
Who's the person that's most likely to throw like a tantrum or make a scene in public?
You.
So that's interesting. So I, as self-aware as I am, I was gonna say either me or Ben, and the only reason that you would do it was because it would be sports related.
Sports. FSU or the Yankees, I may go ape shit in public.
See, this
Oh yeah, that's true. Like
this
sports, we gotta be specific.
No, like I would totally expect him to lose his shit, and that's something that I actually don't lose my shit about. I would lose, I would get bent out of shape about pretty much like really anything else, as most people know. But we got some good ones here. We've thought about our get out of here's.
Get out of here.
We have a new sound guy. We have a big voice. We have hired him, and he has his sound here.
I'll put it in.
Are you ready to play the game? It's time for Get Outta Here.
Alright, let's start.
Yeah, you're not as good as our big voice as much as I'm. A for effort. Have you guys ever heard Gary Cohen, the play-by-play guy for the Mets, when his voice cracked and he said it's out of here? It's my favorite. It's one of my favorite sports memories ever.
Lagares rockets one out to left field. Back goes Rojas at the wall. It's out of here.
I'll send you the link so you can put it up on the YouTube video.
Alright, let's
later.
start this segment.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Alright, well, okay. So I was thinking about it this morning, and it's like, I see all these people that consider themselves foodies. Like, right? Like, I'm a foodie. I care about food. I eat everything. If you go to my Instagram, one of the things that I like to do if I go somewhere is explore, like, the local cuisine. If I'm going to Seattle, if I'm going to San Francisco, I'm going to have sushi, I'm going to have rice-a-roni. Go to California, you'll have, In-N-Out Burger, all sorts of stuff. If I went to Colorado, I got Rocky Mountain oysters. You guys know what those things are?
I've heard of them, never had them.
They're fried bull testicles.
Yeah.
And they're fantastic. Like, you wouldn't think that they were, but they're pretty good. But I like to go, everywhere, and I like to try the local thing. Georgia, peach pie. Go to Key West, key lime pie. New York, deli, Chinese, whatever you want. The great thing about New York is you can probably get just about anything. But I see these people who call themselves foodies, and all they're doing is just like creatively posting and just like laying out their eggs and tomatoes like very fancy.
So you're
on a plate.
agreeing with Chef A-hole.
It can't be art. It's got to be about the food. I wholeheartedly agree with Chef A-hole, though I philosophically disagree with his take about Taco Bell, which I thought was ridiculous.
Right,
Yes.
Taco Bell's the best.
He crossed the
We love you
line.
guys. Yeah,
Bad
he crossed
mouth.
I thought the Jewish Crunchwrap was incredibly creative, though.
It was.
If you don't know about that, check out
Yeah, what was that?
check out Chef A-hole. It was all
was-
sorts of like Jewish comfort foods rolled up basically into.
Well, that's what I'm
into a
saying. So
Crunchwrap.
he is a fan of Taco Bell then.
He is. I think he is. I think he's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
he doesn't want to admit it, but everyone's.
We'll get him on there.
I think he's doing the Helga Pataki thing where like she pretends she doesn't like Arnold, but she actually likes Arnold.
Oh right.
And he pretends he doesn't like Taco Bell because that's
Secretly
like the cool.
obsessed.
It's a cool thing to do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, foodies, if you're a foodie, eat a bunch of food. You can't eat clean. You can't be drinking bone broth. You can't be having like soup. You can't be having like stupid little things like that. What you gotta be having is hearty, delicious, substantive, delicious meals. You gotta go places. You gotta be a little bit more adventurous. If you're a foodie and you're restricting yourself in what you're gonna go after, watch a little bit of diners, drive-ins, and dives. That one's always a hard one to say. It's a little bit less hard to say than the Mima's Chimi that I tend to always trip over when I do the live read.
I love that. That's my favorite.
Or single versus signal, which is what I've had trouble with so far with doing this podcast. But I digress. Foodies, if you want to be a foodie, eat more food.
Get out of here.
Get out of here, clean eating foodies.
All right, who's next? Me? All right, mine's a simple one. I shouldn't be mad at this, but my get out of here for this week is people who chew with their mouth open.
I'll leave.
I don't know why. It's just
You.
the sound.
Get out of
I
here.
never actually noticed you doing it.
I don't think I do it. I think I was just going for the joke there.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Back
come back in.
I don't know. Yeah, it's just like
Get out of here, Shay.
and it's like people like call each other mouth breathers, and it's like I don't know like. How many people are mouth breathers? Do you know a lot of mouth breathers? I don't think I've ever noticed somebody that
No, it's different though.
would be a vis-a-vis like quote unquote mouth breather.
No, I shouldn't be mad at it. Honestly, it's whatever you guys want to do. It's just I don't know if it's like the sound of like chewing.
It's irritating.
Loudly.
Some people are very sensitive about like just the chewing period.
It's just the way my mind and body works. I guess I don't know. But that's my get out of here.
I've always felt like
very simple, nothing crazy this week.
I always feel like if I eat like chips or cookies, I crunch like a little bit louder than
that's okay.
than the average bear.
No, that's
But,
fine. The crunches are you have chips. It's not like you can quietly crunch a chip.
You know what?
That's impossible.
Bot's been out of the segment though.
Yeah. No, here we go.
You want to hear
Ben.
this get out of here?
Yeah,
I think
sure.
you guys will agree.
Hey, he hyped us up for this one.
I'm
so
sorry
it's-
I'm sorry that you and I have Vijay, you and I have monopolized this podcast. Ben, you have the floor, sir. Oh no!
You called it.
I
Oh
told you.
goodness gracious! Mike Rosso, I've never heard of him, but that's what happens when you give Aroldis Chapman so many innings.
All right,
My
Ben,
get out of here
let's
is
go.
Bandwagon fans living in South Florida. You got the Heat on in the back. You had the Marlins in the playoffs. All these fans came out of the woodworks.
But do you think?
LeBron fans, you mean?
Hang on a minute. I'm gonna challenge you on this partially. I've always been of the opinion that there are plenty of Heat frontrunners, but my concern with your criticism here is arising from Marlins frontrunners. Do you know someone who hopped on the Marlins bandwagon aside from just me?
No, but they're out there.
Yeah,
Whether or not I know it.
There might be, but no, seriously. I've had enough of the bandwagon fans too.
They're the worst.
It is ridiculous. Like, especially the three of us sitting here, Knicks fans who have lived and died with that team for 17 years and have honestly only been disappointed since we were probably 8 or 9 years old was the last time we could probably be proud of that team. Alright, so in closing, Heat bandwagon fans, get the hell out of here.
Get out of
Or just
here.
in general, get out of here.
Vijay, I believe you had a Urban Dictionary phrase of the night for us.
All right, so one of the trending words of the week is, or phrases, dog shot.
Okay.
Yeah,
Dog shot.
Oh
Dog
man,
shot.
there's always, it's funny. There's always an animal in front of it. Last week we had rat liquor. This week we had dog
It's gonna
shot.
be tough. What?
Dog
Dog
shot.
One guess each. Hurry up before I say it.
I think it's like I don't know, like when dogs get like scared about fireworks.
No.
So
I'll
no.
say it's a synonym for dog shit.
Nope.
Okay.
So it's an Aussie definition,
Oh god.
an Australian definition. To be hit when you are not looking. So basically a sucker punch.
Oh.
All right. Should I say
Yeah, how about
something?
that? No worries, no dog shot,
no
yeah.
Worries, no worries.
No worries, dog shot, yeah.
A girl asked for a hug. And then her boyfriend came and dog shot me. So that's our word of the phrase of the week.
Oh man, I don't think we can do much better than that. Sending you into your weekend. Don't get dog shot this weekend. Stay tuned. Stay safe.